Hey there, Jeff Manchester, Manchester Music. Welcome. In this video, we're going to be talking about the latest iteration of the Symphobia lineup from Project Sam. This one's Symphobia 4 Pandora. Full disclosure, this is my first introduction to the Symphobia series. I have not played with the other ones. In fact, the only tool that I have by Project Sam is Swing More, which I needed for a jazz film and is amazing. So I'm not going to be reviewing this one in the context of the kind of lineage or heritage of the other Symphobias. Rather, we're going to go through on a high level and just talk about what's different about this library in the context of other sample libraries and competitors out there. So we're going to figure this one out together. We're not going to go super in depth. I'm just going to show you what I think is cool and new about Pandora. So let's dive in. All right, so this is Pandora in Contact. This is supported through NKS if you're a complete control kind of fan. But right now we have it, loaded through the good old-fashioned Contact. We have combos, effects, clusters, tonal, pulses, risers, and percussion. And right now I have one of the combos up here, and the combos, these guys draw from the effects, pulses, and percussion folders, and you get this kind of nice cocktail of all these modules together here. And when you play them, they all kind of play together. This guy's the master. You'll see how all this works in a moment. But before I jump in, just kind of looking at the messaging, it's clear, and I agree, that this is really full of transitional sounds, Pandora. Stuff that moves the action along, like, the risers, the hits, the clusters. It's the connective tissue, I think, that links one part of the arrangement to another. Now, the difference between Pandora and a lot of other libraries is that the rolls and the crescendos, they're not fixed in time. And we've all been there, right? When you're trying to time your crescendo, your roll, your impact, with the downbeat of everything else, and you have to kind of play it, and maybe it's out of sync, but you record it anyway. Then you have to nudge it around and try and find the right spot so that it hits when everything else hits. And sometimes if you're like me, you'll actually print it in audio, so you get, because MIDI is pretty restrictive visually, it's just a line, but with audio you can see the crest and the kind of the audio file blooming, and then you're like, okay, well, that's where the impact is, and you do it by hand. And anyway, it's not fun. Pandora has kind of figured this out with this cool, I think very smart adaptive sync function, which I think uses the sync to BPM or host BPM, the DAW thing, to detect when the next downbeat is coming. So all you have to do is turn the metronome on, adjust your settings, know where you are into your session, and pick an articulation, hold one finger down, and Pandora will automatically sync everything up. So you never have to manually do your crescendos or your rolls ever again. Anyway, let's jump into what this actually looks like and sounds like when you're using it. And right now, again, we have our combo up here, Restless Risers, the first one to play for you guys. And this is how the adaptive sync works over here, okay? So we have downbeat, so the hit point, these little kind of like tooltips. The hit point's going to be on the next downbeat, or the hit point's going to be on the downbeat after 1 bar in 4/4, or 2 bar, 3 bar, whatever. And then we can do it by beats too, so bars and beats. We can do it in seconds, or we can just turn it off. So that's kind of nice. So let's say that we're going to do it. We're going to give it 2 bars actually before it hits, and this is the track that we're using. So we're going to start it at bar 14 so that we have 2 bars before bar 16 when everything ends, right? So I'll play it from the beginning, and there's also a really cool little visual that you're going to see in a moment, which shows you the sample traveling from left to right, and it's just a nice way to know where you are. See that? So let's play it. I'm going to hit it at 14 so that we kind of bloom and it kind of crashes at 16. Start at 12 actually. Right? So it's like perfectly in time. If we wanted to start it earlier, we just shut this off and we'll start it at bar 15 so that it hits 16 perfectly. Right? It's pretty easy. It's pretty simple, and it works really well, and it works kind of like every single time. On its own, just sounds like this. We could stretch it if we wanted to even more. So let's say we stretch it by 3 bars. Listen to how good the sampling is. You really don't hear a lot of, at least perceptible artifacts. So great sampling, Project Sam. Let's try another combo. Let's try Big Builder instead. And you can see this library is kind of tailored to like sci-fi and horror. The more you play with it. All right, let's try this again, and let's go from bar 16, or bar 14 rather, and we'll go over here, delay it by 1 bar. There we go. Make sure we're on the right place. All right, here we go. Easy. Let's actually add a little bit of reverb, and let's add some distortion as well. That sounds good. Now let's try it again. Yeah, so really easy to use and just play with. Let's jump into another section here, because we can do stuff at the end, but we can also do stuff at the beginning if you need something at the beginning. So this track starts like this. So that's kind of where we start here at bar 3. So let's go to another combo, intro fire. Yeah, I want to replace it. And it's good for intros too. Really anything, again, connective tissue. So let's go over here and delay it again. And I will hit the MIDI. Let's do that one, that's C. I'll do a little count in here. Anyway, I think that's super, super brain dead easy, and just happy that this exists. Let's keep moving to one of the other really cool things about this library, the sound design aspect. So I'm going to go into the risers over here, string downers, and yes, I want to replace this. And by the way, I know I'm kind of moving past stuff. Again, this is just supposed to be super high level, but anyway. That sounds really cool on its own. We can also play with the mic arrangements, and we also have effects over here, which, by the way, you can always expand and go in to further and deeper. Same thing with this guy. You can go in and see what's happening in here. So it's very kind of expandable and drop-downy and deep. One of the other really cool deep things about this is the sound design mode. Click the triangle and then trigger the waveform so you can see it. And here's one of the cool things. You can actually go in and flip this around if you want. Hit reverse, and we can set the sample start time like this. Let's try another sample. That definitely sounds creepier. So let's reverse that and then make this the start point. So right away, that would be great for, just something to accompany a really disgusting thing on screen. We can add some effects to it, like a little bit of reverb. I might open this panel up, actually, to get access to Stutter, which is really cool. Let's add some delay as well. And let's bring the Stutter in here. Let's do a sine wave. A little bit like a ring mod. We can even play with the pitch envelope here. I think I just turned that on, or maybe it was already on. It's going down, we can have it go up. Anyway, just really flexible and cool. That's fun. Let me show you one more little stop here on this super quick walkthrough. Let's go to the pulses, and I'll show you something I think is kind of nice. We can go in here, and now we get access to what are essentially kind of like ostinatos in a way. And we can control the note value here. And if you just want to repeat them, you can go over here and bring the REP, the rep. And now we get even more kind of controls here. We can do triplets as well. And this reminds me a lot of ostinato from Sonokinetic. Yeah, so anyway, a super high-level quick tour of Pandora, a lot of fun. Yeah, let's just wrap up this little part and then sign off. And there you have it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Are you going to pick this up? Is there something you want me to cover maybe more in depth in a future video? Let me know what you think. And as always, thanks very much. Take care.